It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings. Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. In today's episode, we're going to be bringing you 5 shocking cuts the Vikings could make before week 1. And these aren't just, hey, they're going to cut
Maitland
Dunlap. This is going to be shocking, poop your pants type cuts. Okay?
Yeah, we're not talking to Shamar Stephan and Jalen Holmes. These are ones nobody sees coming.
And let's hop into this. But before we get into that, subscribe to the One Bar and Lupica Show. Like the videos. We're here every damn day talking purple, and we're just getting into the thick of the season. We might be here 7 times a day. You never know.
Yeah, I think the other day we were here 7 times.
Worth it. Worth every damn second.
I'm still chafed from it.
I've been chafed most of my life. Let's get into this. I'm going to let you lead off with our number 1. This is in no particular order. 5 guys.
Well, yeah. I'm starting with this guy, and this hurts to even say it because I do think when it's all said and done, his name will be up in that Ring of Honor. He's a great human being, a great tight end for the Minnesota Vikings, a great member of the community. It's Kyle Rudolph. And here's the thing that can make this guy cuttable. You look at the depth chart behind him. You got Irv Smith Jr., who's just ready to explode, ready to bust out. You got Tyler Conklin and Brandon Dillon. I mean, right there, the backups are better than most teams' tight end depth charts. So if Irv Smith does show early in practice that he's ready to roll, looks great, picking up the offense, him and Kirk Cousins have a nice rapport, a nice rhythm between them. Kyle Rudolph does have a pretty expensive contract the next couple of years, and maybe he does get the axe.
All right, I just want to be clear. Did you say Brandon Dillon and Tyler Conklin are better than some starters?
Yeah, you look at some of these. There's some pretty gross.
That must be very.
Look at the Patriots tight end depth chart right now. Tell me if you'd not rather have Tyler Conklin and Brandon Dillon.
I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. But yes, Kyle Rudolph would be very, very shocking just because he is such a key member of this team. He has been a key member of this team. I believe this is his 9th year in the league. But you look at his production. I mean, it was pretty much cut in half in 2019 compared to 2018. Yes, he gives us those big old mitts in the end zone. He comes up big. But with Irv Smith coming up, I mean, we drafted Irv Smith in round 2 for a reason, and that is to take over Kyle Rudolph's spot. And yes, Brandon Dillon, Tyler Conklin offer some options, but this would be very, very shocking, especially the fact that we have a very young receiving core. We have a very young tight end core. So having a guy like Rudolph in the mix would be nice, but it's not out of the question.
No, and I think what he's become now at this portion of his career is that red zone target. He's going to catch touchdowns. He's not going to get a ton of yardage anymore, not going to get a ton of receptions. That's going to be Irv's role, and Kyle Rudolph's role is to get those touchdowns. But, again, if Irv can start doing that, then there's really no reason to keep him around.
Oh, wow. And, yes, Kyle Rudolph comes at a very spendy price, $9 million a year, averaging around that. For 30-some catches and to be a big red zone target. We'll see. Maybe he's a guy that if they did let go, they bring back sometime in the season at a cheaper price. You never know.
Yeah, or he just gets signed up, by somebody else, which would really hurt.
Maybe by the Patriots,
who have a really, really piss-poor depth chart.
Yeah, I'm going to look this up before this is over.
It ain't pretty.
All right, let's get into another guy, and this one will not break the hearts of anyone, but it would be shocking. It would be Patrick Elflein guard.
Yeah, and it's not shocking. You look at the way he's played the last couple of years. He's been horrible. He's still a pretty good run blocker, but when it comes to pass protection, you're better off having me or you out there because he is absolutely – he's like wet toilet paper. Everything just goes right through him. But I think it would be shocking because he's probably your starting left guard and at this point, and he's your primary backup at center. So – to let him go would mean that, one of these young guys is emerging, whether it's Ezra Cleveland moving inside, Oli Udoh transitioning over, or, maybe even Kyle Hinton, this impressive D2 player. Maybe he shows something where they think, hey, we don't need Pat Elflein around, and he's going to be gone next year anyway. So why keep him around if you think you have better options?
Yeah, well, unless they go the Bush Brett Jones route and they just continue to bring him back year after year after year. But Pat Elflein would be shocking. I mean, he was a 3rd-round pick. He was a guy that everybody kind of had pegged in round 2. He showed up his rookie year. He gave us some hope, and then it just seems every damn year he gets worse and worse and worse. So he's a cheap option. He's probably going to be our starting left guard, but it would be very, very shocking if they just said, screw it, we're out of here.
Yeah, and you wonder if it's the injuries that he suffered at the end of his rookie season. Was a broken leg, a shoulder injury. He had to have surgery on both. He just has not been the same guy since then. So I don't know. I don't know what got into Pat, but
and it would be shocking the fact that we don't really have a starting right guard right now. So to get rid of Elflein and just go straight up with two different guards, not saying it would be any worse, it would just not be the norm.
But if you're going to ask me any member of the Minnesota Vikings I want to give a shirtless chest bump to, Pat Elflein's going to be damn near the top of that list.
Yeah, Pat Elflein looks like a very nice fella. He's always the first one there to lift you up. Unfortunately, he's lifting somebody up because of him. But yeah, he's not good. He's bad.
No,
very bad.
All right, well, let's stick on the offensive line. Let's look at our left tackle now, Riley Reiff. Next couple of years, his contract is very, very exuberant. What do you think? You think he could be a surprise cut?
It would be a shocker. I mean, I would have guessed they would have let him go already or tried to trade him, but Riley Reiff, it comes at a very spendy price. We did draft Ezra Cleveland in round 2. If Ezra Cleveland comes in and just knocks the panties off the coaching staff and Riley Reiff is expendable, they would end up saving some money by cutting him. Yes, they would have to eat a chunk of it, but Riley Reiff, I still consider him a good tackle, but it'd be shocking.
Yeah. I think he's more likely to be traded than flat out cut. You can get something for him, whether it's a 6th or 7th rounder with that hefty contract in his age.
Maybe we get one of those shitty tight ends from New England.
Not interested. I'm fine with the tight ends we have. Riley Reiff would probably be a starting tight end in New England right now.
Just to be clear, I looked up the tight ends. I like to consider myself fairly knowledgeable in the NFL. I've never heard of any of these guys. I'm not even going to say their names.
Yeah, the one, the Asiasi guy they took like in round 2.
Matt Lacrosse. Yeah, I don't know any of these guys.
I thought that was a sport.
Bad
one.
Right.
Yeah, okay, well, let's move on. This one would shock me just because the way this guy developed last year, but cornerback Chris Boyd, what he got on Chris Boyd?
Boydski. Yeah, Chris Boyd came a long way from that very shit show of a preseason where everybody was pretty surprised that he actually made the team. But throughout the season, he became a special teams asset and some decent depth. He actually played pretty damn good, but he's got to look at the guys in front of him. We drafted 2 cornerbacks early, throw in Mr. Hand in round 5. Chris Boyd's got his work cut out for him to make the team.
Well, he's in a very interesting spot because I could see him moving up and like actually earning a starting spot because you really look at his competition. It's not that stiff. But he's also a guy who has to fend off the guys behind him because they're all kind of in the same boat as far as talent goes, as far as experience goes. So he could take a major step forward. He could take a major step backwards to the point where he's not even on the team next year.
Yeah, the cornerback position itself is going to be a big old mystery, especially with the young guys, especially with, we got Hughes, we got Holton Hill, but even guys like Mark Fields and Nate Peters-Meters are coming back. And Harrison Hand, I think, is going to be a sneaky play. I mean, Chris Boyd was a 7th rounder. Harrison Hand in round 5, a lot of potential there, whether he can play corner, we can be safety. So I think he's definitely going to make the team. So I'm pulling for Boyd, but it's definitely not a shoo-in.
No, it's not. We got one more on our list, and I think this would shock the pants off of everybody at the American Legion. It's quarterback Sean Mannion.
Mannion, the worst backup quarterback in the NFL today. And why is that a shock?
He's like the New England Patriots tight ends of backup quarterbacks.
He wishes. This would strictly be a shock, not because it's Sean Mannion, just because we got nothing behind him. We have no proven commodity behind him. Sean Mannion, yes, he is not proven. But Nate Stanley, Jake Browning, I mean, in such a crazy season, anything can happen. If Sean Mannion's out there, shit can get bad real quick.
Yeah, with no exhibition games, it would be very surprising to see Nate Stanley or Jake Browning surpass Sean Mannion on the depth chart. I think the only way that would happen is if Mannion somehow got hurt, got wasted, showed up at camp like buck naked, covered in puke, which I used to do sometimes when I was a little bit younger. So that's why it'd be shocking. It's not shocking from a talent standpoint. He's not good. His career quarterback rating's like in the 50s. horrible decision maker with the football. The offense would have to completely transform if he was heading it. He's not somebody who's going to come in and win you a game off the bench. He's going to come in and probably lose you a game. You're going to be calling your plays in spite of Sean Mannion, not because of him.
Yes, Sean Mannion knows the playbook. He's been around the NFL. Whether he's been good or not is one thing, but he could come in, step in a pinch, maybe not win those games, but at least orchestrate the offense. And guys like Nate Stanley and Jake Browning might just go out there and crap their pants. So it would be very shocking. His career passer rating is 57.5, just to be clear.
So it was in the 50s.
Was you nailed it. So those are our 5 shocking picks that could possibly get cut. Out of these 5 guys, who do you think most realistically could get the boot?
I'm going to go with Riley Reiff just because I think Ezra Cleveland's there. Oli Udo's kind of exciting. Rashad Hill can play some tackle. You already got your right tackle spot secured in Brian O'Neill. So I think potentially it could be him, but, they could have saved money if they would have cut him like a month ago. So I still think he's the most shocking. Or
Yeah,
most likely.
Most likely I'm going Chris Boyd, just the competition at corner. A lot of unproven guys that could just come in and just wow people. And Chris Boyd, he's like you said, he's either going to be pushing for that starting spot or he's going to be pushing just to make the team. I don't think there's going to be anything in the middle.
Yeah, he's in a weird position, like I was that one time in the hot tub.
That's what I hear. And you keep bringing up Oli Udo, and I just want to be clear. If I were to ever get a new Vikings jersey, which I probably won't, Oli Udo would be on the top of the list.
Are you serious?
Udo would be a great jersey.
Yeah, I once thought Thomas DePay would be a great jersey to have.
Yeah, that did not pan out. Did not pan out at all. Never even took a snap.
Now he sells ice cream in Florida.
Well, hope he's making a killing.
I don't think he is. All right, so that's it. Here's an interesting fact for y'all to chew on. Hello was not a standard greeting until the telephone was invented.